Here we are, 7 days before the Royal Rumble. And in the spirit of the Royal Rumble, I'm going to do something that's never been done before on this channel. I'm going to book the entire Royal Rumble match. That's right, the whole thing from start to finish, all 30 entrants. Oh God. For the record, a few disclaimers. This is not at all a shot to What Culture Wrestling for Adam Blancpais's version of how WWE should book. No, this is not at all copyright, alright? This is not at all a call out. This is just my way of doing it. It's just a parody. Think of it that way. And disclaimer, we're only doing the male Royal Rumble. We're only doing the men's Royal Rumble because I don't have time to do both Royal Rumbles for men and women's, and the women's one doesn't seem that interesting to me. Yeah, it's hard to say. The women's Royal Rumble doesn't seem that predictable to me. It doesn't seem that. Yeah, it doesn't seem all interesting. Like there's some women that were in there last year, who are in there this year. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, also the entrance, the men's Royal Rumble match. Let's start. Let's do it. Boom. So, entrant number 1 is Drew McIntyre. And this makes sense because he was the first one to declare himself into the Royal Rumble, and the first one to declare is the first one in. I think that's how it goes. Entrant number 2 is Dolph Ziggler. And this is going to be Dolph Ziggler's last ever match in WWE, because there's rumors of him leaving WWE for All Elite Wrestling. So, and I think his contract is about to expire by the time the Royal Rumble happens. So this will be his last ever match in WWE. So then Drew and Dolph get into a scuffle. They start hitting each other really hard. Drew is dominating, of course, because of course he is. He then nails headbutts onto Dolph Ziggler, which then entrant number 3, AJ Styles. Now, let's just say AJ loses his WWE Championship match against Daniel Bryan earlier in the night, which would then lead to him coming up with a second opportunity, winning the Rumble, and possibly having another shot at Daniel or the Universal Championship. So then with Dolph Ziggler down, AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre stand face to face. This is a match I would love to see. So then Drew and AJ start battering each other, and then Dolph gets up, and now it's like a 3-way sequence. They're pulling off these fantastic moves, they're pulling off this fantastic action, when entrant number 4, R-Truth. Now, I know that R-Truth got the number 30 spot in the Mixed Match Challenge, but number 30 is special. Just wait. I mean, look, I know R-Truth is supposed to be number 30, but his gimmick in WWE right now is like he's stupid. So maybe he'll come out thinking it's number 30, or they're gonna pull off some stupid crap, whatever. Anyway, R-Truth comes into the ring and immediately gets eliminated. Sorry. So then Drew gets eliminated R-Truth. Drew eliminates R-Truth, which then turns around into a super kick by Dolph Ziggler. Drew is down, and a phenomenal forearm to Dolph Ziggler. When entrant number 5 comes out, Mustafa Ali, my boy, Mustafa, my boy, Chicago boy, my boy. Okay, so the ones in the ring right now are Mustafa Ali, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. So, Ali comes into the ring, he and Styles get a little action in there, hits the Tornado DDT on Styles. Dolph Ziggler comes up, and I think Mustafa Ali and Dolph Ziggler will have a great match. Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa hits the DDT on Dolph Ziggler. A Claymore to Mustafa Ali. Phenomenal forearm to Drew McIntyre. Super kick to AJ Styles from Dolph Ziggler. All four men are now down when entrant number 6 comes out, Elias. Now, Elias coming out is because he's going to be playing his guitar on the way down because all four men are down, like they did last year when Baron Corbin took out everybody outside the ring and hit End of Days and that chokeslam backbreaker outside of the ring on everybody during the Rumble. So anyway, Elias is walking out the ring, he's playing the guitar, singing some crap about Phoenix, Arizona, it's hot in here, or my skin is dried up. So he's in the ring when entrant number 7 comes out, EC3. Now EC3 is one of the new NXT people who are moving up to the main roster, and he hasn't made his in-ring debut yet. At the time of this, I'm filming this before Monday Night Raw tonight, so EC3 hasn't made his in-ring debut yet. So this will be his first match on the main roster. So Elias tries to hit EC3 with his guitar. EC3 ducks it and hits that 1%. He doesn't eliminate him because we can't have Elias eliminated yet. He hits that 1% finisher on Elias. Well, then turns it around to a super kick by Mustafa Ali. EC3 doesn't get eliminated yet. We gotta have the ring build up first. So EC3 is not eliminated yet. EC3 and AJ Styles get into a brawl. Hey, old TNA versus new TNA. When then entrant number 8 comes out, Kofi Kingston. Okay, at this point, I don't even know what Kofi's gonna do this year. I mean, he's done literally everything in the Rumble. He's done a handstand. He used one of the commentator's chairs. He's done a leap of faith from the barricade to the ring. He's used the rosebuds. He's used the New Day. He's used the ring post. He's used pancakes. And he used Xavier Woods in the Greatest Royal Rumble. So I literally don't have anything here. I don't know what he's going to do in this year's Rumble to keep doing that I'm still in bit. I have no idea. Probably like he's going to, I don't know, he's going to climb the barricade or spider crawl on the barricade to the announce table, to the ring steps, and to the ring, or maybe he's going to use a jetpack of some sorts or a trampoline. They're going to come up with something. Okay, so in the ring right now, you have Kofi, Dolph, Drew, Styles, Ali, Elias, and EC3. So, Kofi Kingston comes in, and he and Dolph get into a little sequence. Dolph tries to eliminate Kofi. Dolph, tries to do a clothesline, but Kofi then holds on the ropes, and Dolph is then eliminated. Well, see you bye, Dolph. It's been an amazing career. I mean, I know it's not the right send-off, but he's had a long career where it's one of those moments. So Dolph is eliminated. So then Drew and Kofi get into a little sequence. Kofi is knocked on the apron by Drew. Drew tries to barge him into the wall, into the floor, when Kofi grabs onto the barricade, and like I said, he does a spider crawl slowly over to the announce table, trying not to get eliminated. So he's on top of the announce table right now. He hops onto the barricade, does another leap onto the steel steps, and he's back into the ring. Like I said, I don't specifically know what they're going to do with Kofi to do that whole I'm still in bit, but that's what I think is going to happen. Onto the barricade, climbs onto the announce table, on the barricade again, runs to the steel steps, and is back in the ring. So Kofi's back into the ring, and he thinks he's won. Yeah, I'm still in the ring. He turns around to a clothesline by Drew. Kofi is eliminated. So the only ones that have been eliminated right now are Truth, Dolph, and Kofi. And the only ones inside the ring right now are Drew, AJ, Mustafa, EC3, Elias, and that's it. I thought there was a sixth guy, but no, that's it. So when he comes number 9, Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews runs to the ring. He and AJ get into a little sequence, and I would like to see more matches from these two because I think they can pull off an amazing pay-per-view match. They've only had like one match against each other that was on SmackDown during the first stages of the brand split. But I think they would have a really good pay-per-view match, AJ and Apollo. So Apollo starts cleaning house. He takes out EC3, takes out Mustafa Ali. He and Elias get into a little scuffle because I think they're in a feud right now. But no, they're not. Anyway, Apollo tries to like dunk Elias outside the ring. When Elias slips out, hits a knee, and Apollo Crews is eliminated. Yeah, I know he was in there for like a few minutes, but you gotta have some quick eliminations to build up some intensity into the match. That's the point of the Royal Rumble. You gotta build up. The point of the Royal Rumble is to build up. So Elias and AJ Styles get into a nice scuffle right there. And this, I'm sorry for most fans, this is going to disappoint you guys, but Elias eliminates AJ Styles. Yeah, I know, it doesn't seem kind of alright, but they gotta come up with something for AJ, and he's probably not going to win the Rumble, but it was a nice way to have him in here. And so Elias has eliminated 2 people, Apollo and AJ. He thinks he's untouchable when it turns around into a Claymore by Drew McIntyre, and Elias is eliminated. Well, that's what you get for turning your back on Drew McIntyre. He'll freaking kill you. So when it comes number 10, burn it down! It is Seth Rollins. It's not Ty Dillinger. At number 10, it's Seth Rollins. And he is steaming. Because, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Like I said, I'm filming this before Raw tonight. I don't know what's going to happen to him. But he is steaming. He's upset because Bobby Lashley won the Intercontinental Championship. And he's upset because of Dean Ambrose, of course. So, right now, the ones in are McIntyre, Ali, and EC3, and Seth Rollins. And I would have this fatal 4-way going for at least 5 minutes before the, I will have them at least, just go all out for these 4. I mean, McIntyre, Ali, Rollins, and EC3 are 4 great competitors, so just have them go all out, like try to kill each other. So Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Rollins fends off McIntyre. He fends off EC3. And Seth Rollins and Mustafa Ali stand face to face. I would love to see this match go down. So Rollins and Ali, they have a fun little sequence. Ali does that little X Factor thing he does. Rollins counters it into an enziguri, which I think would be cool to look at. Anyway, Ali tries to hit a tornado DDT, and then is flanked over, and then is pushed over by a sidekick to the gut. Seth Rollins tries to go for a curb stomp, but then Drew McIntyre gets up again and headbutts Seth Rollins, and he's down. Headbutts Mustafa Ali, and he's down. And comes number 11, the newly crowned Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley makes a beeline for Seth Rollins. Because Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley are involved in a feud now, and I think it's going to be over the Intercontinental Championship. I think it's going to be Lashley and Rollins for Mania. I don't know. So anyway, McIntyre and Lashley team up to take out Rollins and Ali. When EC3 turns around Lashley, hits the 1%. I know it's not good to do that to the Intercontinental Championship, but why not? So anyway, EC3, he does his little thing. EC3, I think he does. So he turns around, he tries to bounce over the ropes, and then Claymore to Drew McIntyre, and EC3 is out. And comes number 12, one and only. That's right. As of recording, it is the North American Champion, Ricochet. Now, I don't know if Ricochet is going to drop the North American Championship to Johnny Gargano at TakeOver Phoenix this Saturday. I don't know if he's going to move up to the main roster after Phoenix. Whatever, we'll just have to see. So anyway, Ricochet comes in, and he cleans house. Super kick to Lashley, super kick to McIntyre, and he gets into a little sequence with Mustafa Ali. I would also like to see that match happen. Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. He fends off Ali, and he stands toe-to-toe with Seth Rollins. I would also love to see this match happen. Ricochet and Seth Rollins. So, Seth Rollins tries to hit a super kick. Ricochet hits a forearm. Tries to do like a handstand cutter. Not the lethal injection, like a handstand cutter. Then Seth Rollins hits the rain trigger. That ripcord knee. Mustafa Ali hits the X Factor. And he is eliminated by Bobby Lashley, which is going to make some fans mad. Bobby Lashley is then beating down Ricochet. When number 13 comes out, it is Andrade Cien Almas. I'm not calling him Andrade. I'm not using their first name bullcrap, WWE. Well, Andrade Cien Almas is in the match, and I think he and Ricochet would have a great match. They get into a little sequence. Lashley and McIntyre are down beating up on Seth Rollins. Rollins tries to fence him off, super kick to McIntyre, side kick to Lashley. Tries to go for a curb stomp on Lashley when he eats a back elbow from Andrade Cien Almas. So the ones in the match right now are McIntyre, Rollins, Lashley, Almas, and Ricochet. And then number 14 comes out, and it's everybody's big, baldy jerk, Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin comes out, and he teams up with McIntyre and Lashley to, face off against Almas, Rollins, and Ricochet. But in a way that nobody saw coming, McIntyre and Lashley then beat up on Corbin, and he gets eliminated. So Corbin is out. Well, that was from all lasted. So then McIntyre then headbutts Bobby Lashley, and Seth Rollins eliminates him. So now Bobby Lashley is then eliminated. So then Ricochet, McIntyre, and Rollins are the only ones in the ring right now. When then number 15, John Cena. So John Cena gets beaten up by those three. He doesn't get eliminated. But John Cena gets beaten up by Rollins, McIntyre, and Ricochet. And McIntyre and Cena finally get into a fight because they're in a feud right now. Cena and McIntyre are brawling. Ricochet and Rollins are having their own little nice sequence. When number 16 comes out, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, he didn't get to be in last year's, or he didn't get to be in the last two Royal Rumbles because he was, in 2017 he was still in NXT, and in 2018 he was injured by the time. So Samoa Joe is in, and he takes out John Cena. I will want to see that match go down. Anyway, Ricochet and Samoa Joe then getting into a little sequence there. Rollins and McIntyre are then brawling again. John Cena is out on the floor. Number 17, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, who hasn't been on TV since the night after TLC. So Kurt Angle is not, I don't know if he's still the general manager or if he's still wrestling again. Anyway, Kurt Angle is now into the Rumble. He and Samoa Joe get into a scuffle. Hey, remember TNA Genesis 2006? Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle get into a little fight. Kurt Angle hits a German suplex on everybody. Suplex to Joe, suplex to Cena, suplex to Ricochet, suplex to Rollins, and suplex to McIntyre. And then he takes off the straps and he's about to. He's in Kurt mode or Olympic mode, and he eliminates Ricochet. So Ricochet is out. He's still in NXT. He doesn't go to the main roster after this. So Ricochet is out, and the only ones in the ring right now are Cena, Joe, Rollins, McIntyre, and Cena. I think I said it before. Anyway, it's Angle, Rollins, McIntyre, Joe, and Cena. When then, number 18, Austin Phoenix. It's Big E, of course. So Big E is now in the main event, is now in the Royal Rumble, and he eliminates Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle should go back to being the general manager. I mean, yeah, I would love to see him wrestle again full time, but I think his role is at general manager is better. And those who disagree, well, that's just your opinion. So Big E eliminates Kurt. Drew McIntyre is now taking out Rollins and Cena. Joe tries to lock in the Coquina Clutch on Big E. Big E shakes it off. And then number 19 is Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose goes straight for Seth Rollins. So Ambrose and Rollins are brawling, and while they're brawling, Rollins and Ambrose are still hitting each other. They're like punching each other so hard. And then Drew McIntyre eliminates both of them. Yeah. Drew McIntyre eliminates Seth Rollins. I know that there's rumors of him going to WrestleMania to face Brock for the championship, but hopefully Finn beats Brock early in the night. He becomes the Universal Champion, and we can do Drew and Finn for the Universal Championship at Mania, or maybe Seth can win the Elimination Chamber. It can be like a triple threat: Finn, Drew, and Seth at WrestleMania. But who's that? Wait, what? I don't know any Brock Lesnar. I don't know Brock Lesnar. I see Finn as a champion. I don't know who is this Brock Lesnar Universal Champion you guys are talking about. Is he even still employed? I can't tell. He never shows up. So Dean Ambrose got eliminated because he was fighting off Seth. So Seth and Drew. So Drew eliminates both Dean and Seth. So the ones in the match right now are Drew McIntyre, John Cena, Samoa Joe, Andrade Cien, and Big E. And then number 20, and this is a big one, number 20 comes out, and it's the Cruiserweight Champion, Buddy Murphy. Now 205 Live is on a roll this time. And what way to add legitimacy to that brand, 205 Live, by having your Cruiserweight Champion, Buddy Murphy, in the match. So Buddy Murphy gets into a showdown with Andrade Cien. Big E is beating up on Drew McIntyre is beating up on Big E. And John Cena is beating up on Samoa Joe. Well, then Big E eliminates Andrade Cien, so now Almas is eliminated. Buddy Murphy hits knees on everybody. He hits a knee to Drew, he hits a knee on Big E, he hits a knee on Cena, and he hits a knee on Joe. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway, Joe shakes off the knee and bulldozes through Buddy Murphy. And what's going to make some of the fans happy, he eliminates John Cena. Yep. John Cena's eliminated. In comes number 21. It is Xavier Woods. He and Big E start teaming up on everybody. On Drew, on Murphy, and on Joe. So Drew and Murphy then team up against the New Day. So New Day are now getting beat up by 3 guys. Then they need help. Drew, Joe, and Murphy are beating up on Xavier Woods and Big E. When the number 21, Tucker Knight, Now, Tucker Knight, along with EC3, are two of the new guys that are coming over to the main roster from NXT. And Tucker Knight then bulldozes through everybody. Tucker Knight and Drew McIntyre get into a brawl because I think those two can have a really hard-hitting match. Joe is beating on Big E, and Buddy Murphy is beating up on Xavier Woods. So that's the only 6 guys in the ring right now. Xavier Woods, Tucker Knight, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Samoa Joe, and Buddy Murphy. That's the 6 right now. And then number 23, and this is an even bigger one. Number 23 is the United Kingdom champion, Pete Dunne. And at this point, nobody's going to take the United Kingdom Championship away from Pete Dunne. And since NXT UK is hot right now, why not have Pete Dunne add legitimacy to that brand and have some moments in the Royal Rumble? So, and he breaks fingers. He breaks Big E's fingers. He breaks Xavier's fingers. Just those guys right now. And Pete Dunne eliminates both Xavier Woods and Big E. So now those two are eliminated, and the ones in the ring right now are McIntyre, Murphy, Knight, Joe, and Buddy Murphy. Then Pete Dunne and Buddy Murphy get into a little brawl. I think those two can have an amazing match. When then Samoa Joe then locks in the Coquina Clutch on Pete Dunne. Dunne shakes it off and then eliminates Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is now gone. Out comes number 24. It's Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio, and there's like a lot of big guys in the ring right now, but Buddy Murphy is like on his height level. So Buddy Murphy and Rey Mysterio get into a slight sequence right there. Pete Dunne and then knocks him out with an elbow. And Drew McIntyre and Pete Dunne started having this brawl. I would love to see that match, Drew McIntyre and Pete Dunne. Like, there's a lot of dream matches you can create out of this entire Royal Rumble that can lead on or that can lead to Mania. Anyway, Pete Dunne and Drew McIntyre are brawling. Tucker Knight is bulldozing through Buddy Murphy and Rey Mysterio when number 25, and this is a big one, when number 25, Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam is in the Rumble now, and he cleans house. And the reason this is because Rob Van Dam is in talks of another WWE run. So, what a good way to start that by appearing in the WWE one more time in the Royal Rumble. Now, Rob Van Dam, he takes out Tucker Knight, he takes out Buddy Murphy, he takes out Rey Mysterio, he takes out Pete Dunne, and Drew McIntyre and him getting into a slight brawl. I think that would be a good match. Drew McIntyre, RVD. That would be a good sequence. When then, out comes number 26, Otis Dozovich, who had probably one of the strangest appearances in WWE history. Anyway, Otis comes out and he helps out Tucker Knight fend off against everybody. Tucker Knight and Otis take out everybody, but then Drew McIntyre eliminates Tucker Knight and takes out Otis Dozovich. So the ones in the ring right now are Pete Dunne, Buddy Murphy, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Otis, and Rob Van Dam. And then number 27, Batista. That's right, Batista. Now, we saw in SmackDown 1000 that he probably wants another match with Triple H. And Batista I think his contract is up with Disney because of Infinity War. Anyway, Batista is in the Royal Rumble, and just like Rey Mysterio, it's a huge pop and it's an amazing moment. Batista cleans house. He takes out Otis. He eliminates Buddy Murphy, who was in there, and he and Pete Dunne get into a brawl. That would be a good match. He teams up with Rey Mysterio again. Hey, remember when those two were a team? And they take out everybody. So the ones in the ring right now are Otis, Batista, Pete Dunne, RVD, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre. Then Batista eliminates Pete Dunne. And then RVD hits like the Van Daminator on Batista. He doesn't hit him with the chair. He doesn't use a chair on him. He just does that spinning sidekick. So then Drew McIntyre headbutts RVD when number 28, Walter. So Walter, who is just arrived in NXT UK, hasn't done much so far, but he can start up by showing people how good he is in this match. And Walter chops the crap out of everybody. He chops Otis. He chops him so hard he eliminates Otis Sozovich, so Otis is out. He chops Rey Mysterio, who looks like he got hit by a bus. He chops Batista. He chops Drew McIntyre. He chops RVD. Their chests look pinkish. That's how hard Walter's chops are. Then Walter and Drew McIntyre start brawling. RVD and Batista start getting into a scuffle. Number 29, Jeff Hardy. Now Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio get into a little sequence. And Jeff Hardy and RVD, they start to renew hostilities. Walter chops him, of course. So, in the ring right now is Batista, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, RVD, Walter, and Jeff Hardy. And finally, number 30 is Kenny Omega. Okay, now before you guys attack me in the comments, wait! Let me explain! Now, I know Kenny Omega has already signed a deal with AEW, but this doesn't have to be a legit thing. He doesn't have to stay in the company after the Royal Rumble. Just because he can just make a one-off appearance. I mean, there's been plenty of wrestlers from other promotions who've made appearances at the Royal Rumble, and yeah, that was it. Take Mil Mascaras and half of the luchadors from AAA in 1997, for example. They only had one appearance in the Royal Rumble, and they never appeared again. I mean, Mil Mascaras is on the Hall of Fame, but you know what I mean. But it could be the same with Kenny. He doesn't have to stay in the company. It can just be like a one-time thing. And trust me, the pop will be huge. I guarantee it. That will get a huge pop. So Kenny Omega is in the ring, and everybody is shocked. So Rey Mysterio then he eats a V-trigger. He's eliminated. Kenny Omega and RVD get into a scuffle. I think they can pull off an amazing match. And Kenny Omega and Walter. What a dream sequence that would be. Walter and Kenny Omega. It sounds like the Indies right now, even though it's the Royal Rumble. Anyway, Kenny Omega ducks one of Walter's chops, and he gets eliminated for his troubles. And then he nails Jeff Hardy with a V-trigger, and he's eliminated. So the final three is Drew McIntyre, Kenny Omega, and Batista. Now imagine how good this is going to be. Everybody starts rolling on each other. They start hitting each other. They start giving everything they got. Batista hits Kenny Omega with the spear. Drew McIntyre hits a claymore on Batista, and Batista is eliminated. So now the final two are Kenny Omega and Drew McIntyre. They start getting into a little sequence. Can't give it all they got. Kenny Omega and Drew McIntyre, I would have this go on at least 15 minutes, because you're never going to get another match of this caliber ever again. Drew McIntyre and Kenny Omega, they go all out. Kenny Omega hits a V-trigger on Drew McIntyre. He then hits a Claymore on Kenny Omega. He hits another V-trigger. He tries to go for the one-winged angel. Drew McIntyre gets out of it. And then Claymores Kenny Omega. And Drew McIntyre is the 2019 Royal Rumble winner. He was the first man in and the last man standing. That's how good Drew McIntyre is. But as it turned out, RVD was only knocked under the bottom rope. RVD is now back in the ring, and Drew McIntyre claymores him, and now Drew McIntyre is the winner of the Royal Rumble. So, Drew McIntyre has won the Royal Rumble from start to finish. Drew McIntyre was the first guy in and was the last one standing. Celebrating, he then says, and this is my Scottish accent isn't going to be the best. He then says, "Hey, Drew, I have won the Rumble, and Finn, you better hold on to your championship, because at WrestleMania, I'm going to claymore your bloody face off." So then, Drew McIntyre challenges Finn Balor for the Universal Championship, and Brock Lesnar is walking down the road on his way out of WWE and on the UFC. So, Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor are set for WrestleMania. And that's how I would have done the entire Royal Rumble match. And that's how I think they should do the entire Royal Rumble match this year. I mean, I did leave out Lars Sullivan, because I didn't have anywhere to put him. But when I saw the confirmed spots for the Royal Rumble, like I said, I don't know who else is going to be in the Rumble. I'm filming this before Raw tonight. I don't know who else is in the Royal Rumble, but this is how I think they should do it. And after this sets up a couple matches for WrestleMania. You can set up AJ getting another shot at the WWE Championship, like I said. They can set up Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet. It sets up a bunch of dream matches. Like I said, I had Seth eliminated because I think he should win the Elimination Chamber, and he should go on to WrestleMania. Like, they should do this whole story like, okay, fine, it's gonna be Seth versus Drew, winner gets Finn at Mania. And Finn, I don't know, costs them both the championship, and it's gonna be a triple threat at WrestleMania. That's what I want to happen. I want to see Drew, Seth, and Finn at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. Anyway, as I was saying, earlier in the night, Braun Strowman cost Brock Lesnar the Universal Championship, which led Finn to win it. And Brock is back down in UFC, and Braun, who was still injured at the time, he can win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. I think he should win the Andre Battle Royal. Anyway, back to the Royal Rumble. It sets up a couple of matches for the future. You set up Elias probably going after the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe a special match, the Cruiserweight Champion versus the United Kingdom Champion, Buddy Murphy versus Pete Dunne. Or it sets up maybe a return match for RVD. It can set up Batista versus. There's so many possibilities you can do with this Royal Rumble. Well, everybody, that's how they should book the entire Royal Rumble 19. My voice hurts and I am tired, so I don't know what's gonna happen on Raw tonight, but that's how I would have done the 2019 Royal Rumble match. So with that in mind, comment on the video, click the bell, click the subscribe button, put a like on it, and share wherever you want. I will see you all in the next video.